traumatic brain injury, Alzheimer's disease, stroke, some of the most life-altering conditions. And most traditional treatments aren't that effective. Well, introducing Cerebrolysin, a neuroprotective peptide that is changing how we approach neurological care. Originally discovered in the 1950s and approved medication in over 44 countries, studies suggest that this unique peptide can support brain recovery, enhance cognitive function, and potentially reduce long-term brain damage. Join me as we take a deep dive into Cerebrolysin, where I'll be sharing all my research and discoveries on this peptide. So before I begin, I must start off with a disclaimer that I'm not a licensed doctor or a licensed professional. That all the information in this video is purely educational and for entertainment reasons. If you have any health concerns or questions, please seek out a licensed professional and do not consult this video. By watching this video, you agree to my terms, and let's get straight into this video. So what is Cerebrolysin? Cerebrolysin is a neuropeptide that was originally discovered from young pig brain, which is pretty interesting. And actually, it was discovered in the 1950s and is currently approved in 44 different countries as a medication. Sadly, the USA is not one of those countries. Hopefully, it'll change in the future. And this peptide has a low molecular weight, meaning that it can cross the blood-brain barrier, allowing it to be very effective. And it contains many neuroactive vitamins, amino acids, and building blocks needed for good brain health and good brain recovery. So how does Cerebrolysin work? So first, it helps increase neurotrophic levels, which help protect damaged neurons and help restore damaged neurons. Additionally, it helps protect neurons, or the brain, from oxidative stress, free radicals, acidosis, and neurotoxins by decreasing excitocity, which is the cause of how neurons die in the body, and inhibiting free radical formation and reducing neuroinflammation. That was a mouthful, but it does all these things because it contains 5 key components. First, it contains nerve growth factor, which helps promote nerve regeneration. It contains BDFN, which enhances growth of neurons. It contains P21, which helps enhance DNA repair process, especially in the brain. It contains enkinophilins, I may be saying that wrong, but this helps reduce pain, inflammation, and cancerous growth, especially in the brain. And lastly, it contains orexin, which helps with learning and memory and your circadian rhythm health. So as you can see, Cerebrolysin is packed full of different neuroactive compounds that have a wide array of benefits on the brain, which is why it's an approved medication in 44 different countries, which is pretty cool. So let's go into the research benefits of Cerebrolysin. It helps with energy production, helps treat concussions and traumatic brain injuries. It's used to help with Alzheimer's and dementia. It helps with different types of mood dysregulation. It protects neurons from damage. It reduces amyloid in the brain, which is pretty much, think of it like sticky clumps of protein in your brain, which is a bad thing. It improves synaptic function, and overall it improves cognitive function and behavioral performance. So what are the side effects I've seen from Cerebrolysin? And from studying the research community and experts, I've seen dizziness, sweating, nausea, and headaches. And I think sometimes this can be from taking too high of a dose, or it can be part of the healing process. I'm still unsure about that. And let's go into research dosing and cycling. And this is pretty unique because with a lot of research peptides, they come in powder form and you have to reconstitute it. But Cerebrolysin comes in liquid form, and the most common concentration is 215 milligrams per milliliter. So a lot of times you'll see Cerebrolysin in a 10 ml bottle, and each ml is 250 milligrams. So in the common dosing I've seen is anywhere from 5 to 10 mLs per serving. That means 5 mLs, and each ml is 215 milligrams. And when it comes to the cycling, I've seen anywhere from 10 to 20 days on, and then with a month break off or longer. It largely depends on the individual's response and goal. I've also seen Cerebrolysin taken for long term, but the most common is more like a short term, high intensity phase of 10 to 20 days, especially if someone had a really intense accident or trying to focus on something. Really pack it in and then take a break and reassess. So short answer, 5 to 10 mLs of 250 mgs per ml, or you can times that by 5 or times that by 10 if the cerebrolysin concentration is a little bit different. But for my research, 215 mg per ml seems to be the standard across most bottles. Now let's go into some other peptides I would combine with cerebrolysin. First would be BPC 157 and TB 500. These are very commonly used together to help with any kind of brain injury. Next would be GHKCU injecting form, because GHKCU is a very potent healing peptide. It actually helps modulate over 500 different genes. It's not just used for cosmetics, so I think in the right time and place it can be very beneficial. Next would be either Cmax or Slank. Those are very powerful neuropeptides that combined with cerebrolysin could be very powerful, especially depending on the goal. Next would be ARA290, which this peptide actually helps shine a lot with helping the nerves regrow. So I think this would be very powerful if the main goal was have to do something with nerve regeneration, because cerebrolysin can help with that. Next would be any kind of GHRH with a GHRP like testosterone with ipamorelin, because more growth hormone is very vital for many different functions in the body, especially the brain. So I think it can be very powerful to add to the healing stack with cerebrolysin. Largely depends on the goal and the reason, but overall, I'm a big fan of growth hormone peptides. Now let's go into some supplements I would stack with cerebrolysin. First would be some kind of mushroom complex like lion's manes, reishi, chaga. Mushrooms are so powerful for the body and especially the brain. Next would be creatine, and creatine is actually very crucial for producing ATP and actually helping with the brain. It's actually an amazing nootropic. Next would be looking into methylene blue. Methylene blue has many cognitive functions. It's very beneficial. Next would be some kind of natural test booster. Testosterone is actually very crucial for having good cognitive health and performance. Next we'll look into would be some kind of nootropic blend that you can easily find on Amazon, but there are many powerful herbs and amino acids that can help with brain health and performance and can be very powerful combining with cerebrolysin. And lastly would be NAD and glutathione. I'm just a big fan of those supplements as they can support many different peptides and many different goals. Now let's go into different lifestyle tools I would add. First would be meditation. I'm a huge fan of meditation. It's free and it's such a powerful way to heal the brain and heal your body. Next would be an animal-based diet with fasting. I think this is one of the best ways of eating, especially like raw milk, raw dairy, raw honey. Some high quality organs can be so powerful at healing the brain and give it nutrients, and then combining it with fasting. Next would be functional training. This can be huge, especially for rebuilding neuroconnections and actually helping with blood flow and oxygen flow. I won't go too much into depth in it, but I'm a big fan of functional training for exercising. It's actually mostly what I do. Next would be HBOT, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which is actually super commonly used for anything brain related, but it's an amazing thing, especially to add with cerebrolysin. Next would be light therapy, especially the Violight. I'm a big fan of the Violight, which is pretty much red light therapy for the brain. And that has tons of actually research studies actually helping people with stroke, with different brain injuries, or just light therapy in general, but especially the Violight is a very targeted red light device for the brain. Next would be hot and cold therapy, especially the sauna. Sauna can be an amazing way to help with growth hormone, to help protect the brain in different protein foldings. But overall, hot and cold therapy is a very powerful way to help with brain health. And the last is just body work, so massage, acupuncture, and chiropractic. I won't go into too much detail, but all those play a huge role in having optimal health and can be very beneficial for anyone experiencing different neurological dysfunctions. So what are the pros of cerebrolysin? The first pro is it's a very powerful neuropeptide that contains many powerful compounds, which I think is amazing. The second pro is that it's pretty well used and well researched, as it was discovered in the 1950s. And additionally, it's approved in 44 different countries as a medication. So that is pretty cool in itself, especially compared to other peptides that many peptides don't have much research about them. Now let's go into the major cons of cerebrolysin. Well, it's very hard to find, especially if you're in the USA. I have a very hard time finding it. I actually can't really find it. I used to have a source, but they stopped selling it. I don't know why. So first, it's hard to find and it's expensive, relatively comparing other peptides. So it's a pretty expensive peptide and it's hard to find. And that's all the cons as I know now. So what's my overall opinion of cerebrolysin? First, I would love to use it if I could find a good source. I just think it's so powerful, has so many potent benefits, and it would be my #1 neuropeptide that I would go for, and it currently is my #1 neuropeptide that I would want to use. So overall, I think it's an amazing peptide. I don't like how expensive it is, and it's sad that you can't really find it in the USA, so hopefully it will change with time. But overall, I need to do a lot more research and discoveries on Cerebrolysin, and I really want to, so hopefully in the future I can get my hands on it, and hopefully things will change where it becomes easier to find. So that is my overall opinion on it. But anyways guys, thank you for watching. If you want to master peptides, I have a couple different options for you and support me and my channel. Check out my book, Peptides Made Simple. It's on Amazon. I put so much work into it, and it's always gonna be updated as I add new information. Next is join my school academy if you really want a more customization, more community. I'm in there answering questions. And lastly, join my free peptide masterclass. So if you want to support me, you want to master peptides, check those out. But thank you for watching. Have an amazing day, and stick around for future videos.